Hey folks, let's take a quick look at how we can get the base starter project up and running. At github.com/subquery, let's do a quick search for Ethereum as the repository. Clicking on the SubQuery starter, if we go and click on base, and then click on the base starter folder here, you can see this is the project where we're going to index all transfers and approval events for the wrapped ETH on base mainnet. So to get this up and running, let's jump into VS Code, and I want to go ahead and run my SubQuery init command to initialize a project here, and let's call it base_demo, for instance. I can then choose my network family. I'll select EVM network, and then I'll go and select a base as the network itself, and then jump in and select the base starter template project. Automatically, you can see on the left hand side I've got my project scaffold created, and I'll go and accept the default parameters in the yellow here. This is the RPC endpoint, the author and description. And what I'll do is I don't want to create a scaffold from an existing API contract. This will be from scratch, so I'll select N for no. And there we have it. Now the first thing that you want to do is to cd into the project directory and then run yarn install to download the dependencies. Once we've done this, let's go ahead and run yarn code gen to generate the types. And then I'll also build the code as well. Now, before I go in and run this, I want to open up my schema.graphql file, because you can see two entities here, or objects. We've got the transfers object and the approvals object, where we've got fields such as block height, to, from, value, and this is the data from the blockchain that we're going to be extracting. In my project.ts file, this is a configuration file where if I go and navigate to my endpoints, you can see what endpoints are being used, and also the dictionary as well that we're using. We've got a start block of 1 here. What I'll do is I'm actually going to change this to 360,000, because I know there's some blocks around 380, and this just speeds up the project itself. Below this, I've got some handlers, in particular a handle transaction and also a handle log handler. And these handlers, they get triggered when a filtered criteria is met, such as this one here, an approve function, and also the transfers topic. These handlers are actually defined in the source mappings file here, and this is where a lot of the grunt work is done, because the information such as block height, the to, from, are extracted from the log argument that is used in this particular function. Once it's assigned, we then save it to the database. So to get this up and running, what I can do is let's go and run yarn start docker. There's also a shortcut command where I can run yarn dev, and this will run cogen, build, and also start docker all in one go. I'll run this, and then I'll show you my Docker container here where I've got the base demo project, and you'll see that there are 3 images being used: the Postgres database, the node itself, and also the GraphQL engine. Now while this is booting up, let's go and open up the README file, because I want to go ahead and copy out the sample query. And then I'll jump across to the playground, which is localhost 3000. Let's refresh this. And I'm going to paste my query in here, hit run. And you can see we've got some data coming back. And the block height here is 381,000 to be exact. Now, this is great that we've got data coming back. To cross-check this, I can go ahead and copy the ID. So let's copy this and go to base scan. Basically at basescan.org, which is the block explorer. Paste this into the search, and what you'll notice is that if I check out the value here, you see I've got 15787, and that matches the value here as well. If I check out the from address, this ends in E93, and I've got E93 here, which is the from address, as you can see. And the other parameters will match as well. So there you have it, a very quick example of how to get the base starter project up and running.